You excited?
Yes.
I'm excited. We have things to say. Episode 15, The Believer, The Mandalorian, the pentumplet. I can't talk. The second to last. The second to last episode in the season 2 of a spectacular season of the best show on TV, The Mandalorian. We're going to talk about it right now, but first we're going to say hi to everybody in chat. If you're here live, 10:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 Pacific Time, Monday through Saturday. Saturday is always, during the Mandalorian season, reaction and review show with my special guest, Reagan, who does have her own channel. We need to drop the links and stuff like that probably, but let's get to this. Let's say hi to everybody in chat. Bloom and Cheese, and first one here. Good morning all to you. Sandy Norris, appreciate all the support. Thanks for being here. What's going on? BDF, that's Keith. What's going on, my friend? I am glad all of you are here. Katrina's here. Mara's here. Hey, hey, hey. Let's just get to it. We've got a spectacular...
Oh, Grandma's here in the bottom.
Grandma's here. Look at that. You're watching chat. I love that. I didn't even know you were watching every chat. Look at, she's learning stuff. I always look forward to watching it. Fridays are often busy for us, and we had a class yesterday. It was our last class of our session of the semester. I talk about the Kuiper Belt. You were in the class in the Kuiper Belt.
And I was the only student.
Anyway, we didn't get to watch The Mandalorian at the same time. She always wakes up early and watches it. I don't. And then, so she was all excited about it. We watched it together. And I'm always excited for that. But I'm also excited to read about all the connections, all the Easter eggs, all the stuff that goes back to the Clone Wars. And you are too. You love that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So today's article is spectacular. I'm actually going to read a paragraph, and then I'm going to get your reaction, read a paragraph and get your reaction. That's how we're going to do this today, okay? I'm excited. Did you guys watch it? And this is all efforting me. All of this was efforting me to share with you. It's time to go if you don't want spoilers. It is time to go if you don't want to have spoilers. Give it away. We are about to give away a lot of stuff, right?
Yes, there's a lot of big things. There's quite a few big things happening in this episode.
Yes. So let's get right to it, shall we? It's called The Believer. Straight from The Ringer. TheRinger.com is where I'm getting a lot of this stuff. Hey, Dean, what's going on, buddy? I really, really, really highly suggest this article if you want to see all the connections to everything. Sorry about the lighting, by the way. The sun is...
Yeah, it's a little weird today.
A little weird. The Believer is a touching and explosive episode that functions as a mostly satisfying setup to the season 2 finale. So I'm going to start off with this. I didn't like last week's episode as much as most people. The reviews, the super ubered Star Wars fans, you, my friends, people I listen to on the YouTube, in the YouTube growth world, I'm thinking about D. Nimmin, and on just the Star Wars fans that I read their articles a lot, they loved last week. Way more than I did, including you, right?
Yeah, well, it was a really action. It was an action.
I didn't love it.
I thought
this week's I loved.
Yeah, this one was definitely
This week's
better.
is my favorite ever. This would be the 3rd out of 4 weeks, I think, or 2nd out of 3 weeks in a row that I've said that now.
True, it would.
Why? Katrina says, so disappointed with this last episode. Tell me why, Katrina. It's interesting. And if I remember correctly, you loved it last week's, and I didn't love it so much. That's interesting. I loved this episode. So I'm just going to get to this article. We're going to talk about it. Okay. So again, this is your last warning. Spoilers abound coming up now. Spoilers are, I need you to stop doing that, baby.
Sorry.
Spoilers are going to come flowing out of our mouths starting right now.
Unless you want an endless tidal wave of spoilers, you should probably skip this.
I feel like we've given them enough hints, right?
Yeah.
All right. This week, oh, there's the word again. I can't say. The penultimate episode of The Mandalorian 2nd season answered a question absolutely no one was asking. What if Grogu wasn't in an episode? What if he took an episode off? We didn't even see Baby Yoda.
Yeah, we didn't.
And we loved it anyway?
Yeah.
Did you miss him?
Well, yeah, he's adorable.
He's adorable, but... Katrina, I want to hear more. We need to get Katrina on the show. Katrina, I want to hear more why you didn't love it. But let's keep going. For the first, again, reading straight from theringer.com, and that's a really, really good article. I highly suggest it. Disney nut who loves The Mandalorian reads it every week. For the first time in the series, The Mandalorian's breakout character received 0 screen time. Unlike the landmark 2 episodes that preceded it, which everybody loved. Hey, Jay. Jay Skywalker in the house, guys. Hey, Tina, what's going on? No Baby Yoda, and good morning, Jeff and Ray. Good morning to you, my friend. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member in green, using those emojis, all that stuff. All right. And unlike the landmark 2 episodes that preceded it, Chapter 15 didn't reveal any pivotal plot points, relate any long-awaited origin stories, or introduce any iconic crossover characters. But even though The Believer was the less sensational than The Jedi or The Tragedy, or for that matter, that Disney's spotlight stealing preview of multiple Mandalorian spinoffs, we'll talk about that, I'm sure. Pretty excited about that. And other upcoming Star Wars projects, the series still supplied a contemplative, touching, and explosive installment that functioned as a mostly satisfying setup for the next week's finale. I thought it was amazing. Cara Dune and Mayfeld are my 2 favorites. Bill Burr and Gina Carano. I was fans of them before the show started. I love Gina Carano. I love Bill Burr. I'm huge fans of both of them. And this season had both. When Mayfeld didn't die, when Mayfield was put into what? I guess it was a floating prison, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty as a transport, I guess.
Whatever. He was floating around in space and he was a prisoner and he couldn't get out. I knew they would bring him back. I knew it. And I love that character. I loved that episode in the last season. What'd you think about Marshall Dune and Mayfeld? And of course, can't forget we still got Boba Fett and his little friend cruising around with us. What'd you think about that? Pretty cool crew.
I thought it was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say, I thought it was funny how in the beginning of the episode, they got Mayfeld mistaked Boba Fett for Mando, and he got all tense, and then he relaxed and said, "Oh no," when he realized Mando was still there. That was funny.
So Katrina says, I feel like they wasted an episode with getting the map where Gideon is at. I just felt like it was super slow. Cara Dune has a soft spot, says Jay. I don't know. I loved it. I thought the chase scene when they were moving the Rhydonium or whatever it's called.
That was intense.
That was amazing. I loved it. Hey, Sarah J., how are you? I'm assuming it's not recommended I watch this if I'm... Yeah, Sarah, I want you to stay because I like you, but I'm going to ruin it for you. So, yeah, we're going to give away a lot of stuff. Yeah,
a lot of details.
We on purpose take the first 5 minutes to not say anything to give people a hint that we're going to talk on the show. We do that on purpose so people can come in, of course, but also so everybody, including Sarah, knows that we're going to give away spoilers. Why do your emojis change? I don't know what that means. If you're a member, you get extra emojis. I don't know. Emojis shouldn't change, but I don't know what that means. Blue Nose agrees with Katrina. Interesting. The best part was when he put on the uniform and complained about how stinky it was. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
that guy's hilarious.
Disgusting.
Bill Burr is hilarious. He's a stand-up comedian. He's hilarious. My favorite scene, we'll get to it as I read through the review.
Socks are wet.
Gloves, but whatever. I think that my favorite scene in this, though, was a slow scene. It was when Mando and Mayfeld are sitting across from the Empire, I don't know,
Mess hall?
Big head honcho guy. And Mando doesn't have anything to say, right? And he's asking questions, and Mayfeld says, yeah, let's talk about this, where you pissed me off. Remember this? Hey, buddy, Bill, Magic the Mouse TV's in the house, and he blows him away. Very reminiscent of Han taking out Greedo. And
Yes, I agree.
I loved it. I loved that scene. I love that scene so much.
And may I just point out that in order to get the information they need...
Bye, Sarah. I'm sorry. I have to go. Come back another day. I miss you already. Go ahead.
In order to get the information they needed, they had to access a terminal that had to scan your face. So Mayfeld couldn't do it because there was a chance that person might recognize him. So Mando did it by removing his Imperial helmet.
Well, we'll get to that here shortly, but exactly, that was a big spot. Well,
yeah, I did not see that coming.
Really? So you asked me what I thought was going to happen, and I said I guessed 2 things, and they were both right. I guessed that they were going to break out Mayfeld, which I thought would be in the prison, but whatever, it was even cooler. I love the opening scene where they're at the scrap heap and the big scene of the big picker with the was it a TIE fighter? I don't remember which kind of fighter it was anymore. And I also said we're going to see his face this episode. So yeah, I guessed them both.
Well, we used it at the third time I watched it. I didn't see that coming the first time I watched it the first time. Just saying.
I don't understand any of that. On the Mandalorian, because moving again on the ringer.com, reading along, I like it when they were glad to see this. I know, right? Never thought I'd be happy to see a stormtrooper, and they were clapping for him. Pretty strange. On the Mandalorian, even the comparative calm before the storm makes for a turbulent time. The Believer begins with the dirty third of a dozen, Din, Cara, Dune, Boba Fett, and Fede Shand, I hope I'm saying her name right, visiting the Carthon Chop Fields to spring prisoner Miggs Mayfeld, that's Bill Burr, the ex-Imperial sharpshooter, Mando delivered into the New Republic prison cell back in Chapter 6, which we just talked about. That's the easy part. Cara, the newly appointed New Republic Marshal, immediately abuses her authority by bending some rules to take custody of Mayfield and walking him straight to slave one. We don't really know that that's against the rules, do we?
True, we don't.
And rules are overrated.
I kind of agree, unless they're like,
You totally
can't
don't
kill
agree.
Someone, is it?
You are all about rules.
In this real world, the Star Wars universe is different.
Hey, Kajai Sean, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a great day. Jumbo to you. Blue Nose in the house. Hey, Blue Nose, what's going on? Saying good morning to everybody. Race hi to my buddies Sean and Blue Nose popping in. All right, let's keep going, shall we? Where did I go? He's dismayed to meet not only Fett glowed up with a fresh coat of green paint, which you had really wanted to talk about. You loved his new paint, yeah?
I thought it was cool how he repainted. I thought it was really cool that he repainted his armor and stuff like that.
She liked. Okay, cool.
That's fine. It's cool.
A patched up helmet and a trusty EE3 rifle, whatever that is, but also his old frenemy, Mando. Din and Dune explain that they need Mayfeld to get them Moff Gideon's coordinates. Imagine if you just got here and you don't know any of these names. You're not 15 episodes in. This would be the most confusing thing ever. They have dove us into this universe so well. I think they have. Anyway. Yeah. Like any self-respecting mercenary, Mayfeld wonders what's in it for him by asking, "What's in it for me? You're not going to let me go?" Yeah, Gina Carano. Ooh, love her. Rules. They're more of a guide. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, the answer is you get a better view, Kara says. Unsightly as the TIE fighter graveyard where Mayfeld, sit up, baby. It's not stuff like that, but the light. If serving his sentence may be, a change of scenery doesn't seem like sufficient incentive to accept a hazardous mission, unless perhaps Mayfeld has his own reasons for opposing the Empire. More on that in a moment. He agrees to go along, but in the time-honored Mandalorian tradition, he hands our heroes a side quest, which Katrina doesn't like as much as I do. You don't like the side quest as much either. But I do. I always do. I don't know. Whatever. I like a very deep story. I don't want to just go from, I don't want to watch CSI and be done with the whole story in 40 minutes. I don't like that. That's why I don't like CSI. Anyway, he can't acquire the coordinates unless he has access to the internal Imperial terminal. Too bad Mando and company blow up the base on Navarro or whatever it is. Fortunately, Mayfeld knows of a secret mining hub on Morak where he can hack to his heart's content. What do you think about all that?
I think that was all super cool.
Look at them.
I think that was all super cool.
Once on Morak, a verdant world. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Don't know.
All right, let's keep going. Verdant world making its first appearance in Star Wars, the crew concocts a plan to hijack an armored Imperial juggernaut, impersonate its pilots, and slip into the base. I love this part. Where they can plunder the database for Gideon's whereabouts and head to the roof to await the pick. So basically, they need to get into the building to get the coordinates. But to get into the building, they got to pretend like they're breathing this vibranium or whatever that's just going to blow up, and all these pirates want to get. The pirates, by the way, reminded me of the little coconut lunatics in Moana. How about you?
Kakamoris? And yes, they did. What are you doing?
Thought you might want to say more.
Just saying.
As always, there's a catch. Imperial remnant bases are set up by former members of the Imperial Security Bureau, whose scanners could identify fugitives, Fennec and Cara, as imposters. It's always something, right?
And they weren't going to recognize Boba Fett.
Yeah.
His words were, they might recognize my face.
Yes. Katrina says, now my husband threw something out there. Do you think it was really Mando when he popped up and asked where the child was at? Or do you think it was Boba Fett? I don't think I understand. Let me read that again. Ow, I just kicked that. My husband threw something out there. Do you think it was really Mando when he popped up and asked where the child was at? Or do you think it was Boba? I don't know. Tina says, yes, the scene where they were bringing the stuff in and Mando was on top of the pirates. Reminded me, yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Great call, Tina. Excellent homage, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that. But yeah, that was a great scene, iconic scene where, they're on the side. Yeah, good. Yep, love it. I thought of them as Kokomoros though, because when they were approaching it. But yeah, I think Tina makes a good point. Have you seen Indiana Jones? you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? I have failed as a father. Don't be afraid to answer in verbiage what people, because they're listening. Words and stuff. Let's just say they might recognize my face, he says, referring to the features he shared with every Django clone. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good point.
His face is,
pretty famous.
Yeah, not just his. The only member of the quartet who can accompany Mayfield is Din, who hasn't shown his face to a soul since childhood. There you go.
Yeah, so that's going to be a problem.
Or it's going to be the key to getting his helmet off, which we've all been waiting for.
True. And I just would like to say, clearly his perspectives has been changed clearly because of what Bo-Katan told us. He had just find out he was raised by some wacky cult religious people and not think about it.
I hate it when that happens.
So I'm just saying he thought about what Bo-Katan said, I'm guessing, and his perspective has no doubt changed, and he's slowly realizing that he doesn't have to wear his helmet constantly. He's slowly realizing that he can show his face to people he trusts.
I mean, yeah, as a Californian, when you're born into a family that tells you you're from Italy and they're not, looking at you, Ma, you start to wonder, right? Am I in a cult? What's going on? Should I go live in a ranch in the middle of the desert in California like those wackos did? Charles Manson jokes are hard. Adventures of Gonzo in the house. What's going on? This is the way. I love it. I think it was Mando Katrina. Yes, you have. Jeff says, Tina, what did I do? Yes, you have. I don't know. I don't remember where we were. Everybody say hi to Gonzo, my buddy's in the house. Same as the boulder rolling down the hill last week. Indie reference. Yes. And the boulder rolling down the hill last week might have been a reference to Indie, but for me, it was a reference to every bad 70s movie that I referenced. It's the Alien movie we talked about. The Rock was in it. It was a remake of the 70s Disney movies we talked about last week. I can't remember right now.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. All right, so that means refusing to remove his helmet, which Mando doesn't want to do. For Grogu's sake, his acquaintances, although this step doesn't seem like such a sacrifice, Mayfield seems to think Mando may be breaking his vows, but a discreet helmet swap seems kosher, even according to Din's strict rules. He took it off earlier. It's not like I don't think the rule is you can't take it off. The rule is you can't be seen. So I didn't. Yeah,
the rule is that you can't remove your helmet in front of somebody and let your face be shown by somebody.
Grandma says Italian cult. Get over it. Yeah. Reagan. Mars says I agree with Reagan.
Thank you.
Have you ever removed your helmet? And Mando says no. Whatever. We already followed that. In chapters 4 and 8, though, Mando makes it clear that the thing he can't do is take his helmet off in front of others, which we talked about. I'm going to move forward because we already know this. We talked about it. After commandeering the Juggernaut, that awesome thing. By the way, I think when they dropped the guy and it bounced, I think they did it backwards. I think they should have done the other tire. I think that was a mistake, but I might be wrong, but whatever. Anyway, in Mayfield's mind, someone in this galaxy is ruling and others are being ruled. That scene where Mayfield is looking down at the villagers and he talks to Mando about, are we the good guys? Are we the bad guys? It depends on your perspective. That's a very Star Wars, stay on the screen, baby. That's a very Star Wars thing. That's a very Star Wars dark versus light. Are we gray? Where are we? That's what I love about Star Wars. If you're Republican, you think the Democrats are bad. If you're a Democrat, you think the Republicans are bad. How about none of us are bad? We just think differently, right? And I think that's kind of the story of Star Wars and always been. George Lucas' original vision was this story that related, like Tolkien was talking about World War I, the good guys and the bad guys. Lucas is talking about World War II, the good guys and the bad guys, the Nazis and the not Nazis, hence stormtroopers. Therein, is that the right word usage? We move forward here. Now we've got the stormtroopers are the bad guys in our mind. But if you're a stormtrooper, are you a bad guy? And that's kind of where you find the middle. What are you doing?
Something flew in my eye.
Okay, you're making crazy faces at the people. Okay, you're going to have to stop making crazy faces. Okay, just go out there and go in the bathroom.
It's gone.
All right, stop making crazy faces. You're terrifying me. 3 Jedis will rescue Grogu, Luke, Ahsoka, and Windu in the last chapter. I like that. Maybe. You're reading too fast. That's guilty. Okay, here we go. Moving back to reading fast. Who's doing the ruling doesn't make much difference. Knowing what we know, both siding the battle between the Empire and the Rebellion or the Republic is sort of a false equivalence. Only one combatant in this conflict is controlled by a Sith Lord who builds world-destroying superweapons. I think in the end, the argument on good versus bad is overtaken by if you're serving others or you're destroying others. If you're destroying others, you're bad. That's what I love about the story. it is argumentative on what side is good and what side is bad. But in the end, if you're there destroying other people's freedom, you're the bad guy, right? What do you think?
Yeah, you destroy other people's freedom, you're the bad guy. You serve people, you're the good guy.
Yeah. I think that's the point of all of this. What do you guys think in chat? Let me know. But Mayfeld makes some sense from a certain point of view. For the casualties of a war that's much bigger than any other world, dead is dead. Whether the murder weapon was fired by the Old Republic or the Separatists, or the New Republic or the Empire, or for that matter, by the Mandalorians. What do you think about all that? Do you think what his point to Mando sticks? Because I think it's clear that it does. Because the Mandalorian takes off his hat to help to potentially save his little green friend, breaking the rule, seeing that you can't be so hard on the rules. You got to make good decisions. That's kind of what you said during the show. I mean, you think he's softening because he loves Grogu, yes?
Exactly. I mean, technically speaking, in the laws of Mandalorian, Grogu is Mando's son, because you see, according to the Mandalorian custom and law, if they adopt a child, which is pretty much what a foundling is, in my opinion, whoever adopts a child or whoever finds the foundling is the father, and that makes Mando Grogu's father.
He has a responsibility, but he also has a responsibility to himself to think about these things. Should he be stuck to these rules? Here's what I think. Stick with me. Don't take a nappy nap here. Stick with me. I think when you get stuck with the rules, when you just believe what your mom believed and your grandpa believed, and you all live in the same village for your whole freaking life, and your grandma did and your great grandma did and all these things, that creates sex. S-E-C-T-S. That creates a closed system, and that's why we hate other people. So that's the whole story here. If you travel a little, you hate less, right? And if you're following around, if you cruise around the entire galaxy, and you see that people have different viewpoints, but in the end, they're just trying to live. Why are we trying to destroy them for power? It's kind of a beautiful political story in my never so humble opinion. I believe Mayfeld, says Mar, will become the new leader of the villagers on that planet. That would be cool. I believe Mayfield will be part of our team again. Gonzo says, but we love the dark side, but we can love the dark side for a bit. Well, if you do, they got a show for you coming up on Disney Plus. We'll talk about that probably on another show. Oh, we're going to run out of time. Mayfield's, let's see. Let's just move this ahead. They just want to blow up some stormtroopers. Maybe they're trying to drive the remnant off the planet so they can pirate in peace. The pirates, obviously. They succeed in destroying every other transport, but a Beskar-less Mando and Mayfeld hold them off until the two TIE fighters fly to the rescue, and expectation subverting inversion, good word usage, of the enemy X-Wing pilots from Chapter 10. Meanwhile, Mayfeld limits his speed to avoid detonating the Rhydonium. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right.
You are.
Reminding me of many video game missions in which a meter measures the damage as vehicles fragile cargo, the requisite assortment of movie homages. So yeah, so that's really good take on what I thought about that scene. It looked very much like the old episode 1, 2, and 3 Star Wars, where it looked like they were setting up a video game. And I can see this task in a video game for sure. You got to go fast. You got to get these people off of you. But if you go too fast, it blows up, setting the scene for the action. Did you like that scene a lot?
Yeah, that was pretty cool how if they move too fast, it'll heat up the Rhydonium, which would cause a very big and very loud explosion.
Yeah. Yep. Bruno says he did take off the helmet, though he was reluctant to, but he also reluctantly took off his body armor. You got to do what you got to do.
Especially when you're a father fighting to get your child back.
I mean, really, if you love somebody, you don't really look at, oh, well, what does the rule book say? Am I allowed to save its life, or should I just let the bad guys take him into the galaxy? No, I'm sorry, Grogu. The rules say no.
That Mando, he usually follows the rules, but when it comes to someone he loves, he does not.
I would say he's learning, he's evolving, he's growing to make his own decisions, not follow some other person's rules.
He's becoming that kind of person, in my opinion.
Tina says, AKA clicks. BDF says sex. Exactly. Gonzo says, do you guys think Grogu will come back for season 3? Or do we go back to Mando's adventure around the galaxy? I'll let you answer that first before I take it. Do we see Baby Yoda again, or are we back to Mando?
I have a theory about what happened. Do you guys want to hear it?
I just asked you. I want to know. I want to hear. We're going to get to theories in a minute. Are we going to see Baby Yoda or no?
I think so, but I'm not really sure.
What's your theory?
So my theory is he has coordinates now, and you know who one other person is tracking Moff Gideon? Bo-Katan. So I have a feeling they somehow got the same coordinates, and they run into each other, and I think maybe Moff Gideon is long gone because at the end of the episode, Mando practically told him, "I'm coming for you."
He did. Well, I love that scene. So
that was super cool.
I love your idea. I don't think that's going to happen, but Gonzo, I think Grogu will always be a part of the show. Absolutely, he will. The whole story is about the evil trying to get the midichlorians out of Baby Yoda. That's the whole story. So yeah, he's staying for sure. Bluto says exactly. Hey, checking bones now. What's going on? Bright suns to you. I don't think Grogu is going anywhere. I'm with Katrina. Hey, Anthony Manzano, what's going on? All right, let's get back to our story because we're running out of time. Mar thinks I'm reading too fast, but I'm going to not get through all this.
Can I finish my theory real fast?
Oh, I thought you did. Yes, of course. Talk really clearly to them.
So I think maybe at first Bo-Katan doesn't think they're stormtroopers, so they fire. But then she recognizes Mando's headgear, and she said, "Wait, stop," something like that. And then she said, "What are you doing here?"
Is this in your projected? I'm way confused right now.
Right now, they're in the middle of a fight scene. At first, she thought they were stormtroopers.
Who's she?
Bo-Katan. First, Bo-Katan thought they were stormtroopers. Then she recognizes Mando's headgear. Then,
are you thinking of? Is this in your theory?
Yes, this is my theory.
Oh, you're talking about like fact. I was very confused.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So, I think what's going to happen is that she says, "Mando, what are you doing here?" Something like that. And she said, "We're tracking Moff Gideon." So are we. So I think maybe they realize they have the same enemy.
Got it.
They're going to come together and work together and track him down and kill him.
All right, I see. So you're thinking of a future episode in your head. I got it. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yes, Bo-Katan is after the Darksaber. Eventually, she will have to confront Moff Gideon. So what I think you're saying. Do it together. Yeah. So let me say what I think you're saying and tell me if I understand your point. You're saying that Bo and her team are trying to get the Darksaber, so they're after Gideon. And Mando and his team are trying to save Baby Yoda. And so they're going to meet up together and say, "Hey, let's get them together." Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sooner or later they're going to realize.
You started talking about them talking like that already happened. I got very confused.
Sorry.
No, sorry.
I'm a bit of a storyteller, so it's an old habit.
What are your predictions for the team that's going to rescue Baby Yoda? Anthony, I think we just talked about it. I think her projection is that the Bo's team and Mando's team are going to come together, and they're going to.
Which I just want to say, if Moff Gideon isn't such a fool to leave, once he realizes there's Jango, Boba Fett, Mando, Bo-Katan, and the two others that are with her, there are 5 Mandalorians after him. He better run for the hills.
Tina says she has a very well-developed theory, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, so well-developed that I got confused. You were giving me dialogue in a story in your theory. I think it's only a matter of time before a spinoff series featuring Grogu. You got to sit up, baby. You got to sit up. I put the thing down there and you're too low. You got to sit up. I got to get you a bigger chair.
Yeah, you
do. Not be sorry. Just sit up. She is very well developed theory. Yes, I think season 3 will have more of a backstory of Grogu. Katrina, it's interesting that you think that. You seem to like the moving forward of the story from your comments. I'm getting this. You don't like the side stories. I would say the back story would be a side story. So I'd like to hear more about that. 1 episode left. Yeah, Blue Nose. I'm excited about that. Hey, Dawn, what's going on? I just love it too much. Good stuff. All right. So continue. Sit up, beautiful girl. Okay. Got to get you a bigger chair.
Yeah, you do.
I do. You keep leaning forward. In this case, the cavalry are the troopers and the pilots we're used to seeing as enemies. Never thought you'd be happy to see stormtroopers, Mayfield says.
Yeah, never thought I'd be happy to see stormtroopers.
Exactly. Inside the base, Imperial troops celebrate the transport survival. Very reminiscent of when Luke comes back after blowing up the Death Star, in my never so humble opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Inside the base, I just read that. The cognitive dissonance, good word usage. Okay, so do you see this right here? Okay, there we go. That'll help you a little bit. All right. The cognitive dissonance of seeing Imperials save the days and let loose like the rebels after Yavin or Endor, albeit with the odd glory of the Empire, shouted from the crowd, drives home Mayfield's moral relevance stance. Yeah, I need to get Reagan a pillow to sit on. Exactly.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, Grandma says that. She's right. If you're born on Mandalore, you believe one thing. If you're born on Alderaan, you believe something else. But Mayfield doesn't maintain his detached, self-interest, realist survivor persona long. That's what I love about what Lucas did, what Filoni does, and today it was Matiyama or Katayama or whatever his name is. I thought it was really brilliantly crafted episode. I loved the scene when my man Bill Burr, Mayfield, they're getting away. They're about to be free. And he says, wait, I got one more thing to do. He didn't have to do it. He wanted to do it. He took out the rifle and he blew up
everyone in the room that saw Amanda's face.
Why did he? No, he blew that stuff up because the idiot Empire guy said, now with what you brought us, we're going to be able to do 10 times the damage of whatever the battle was that they were discussing.
Oh, wrong scene. Sorry.
I don't trust Boba. I think he worked for the Empire. Ooh, Gonzo, interesting. I would think that he doesn't. I would disagree with that, Gonzo, but I love your thought process. I would say that he's probably got some hate for the Empire because they kind of took his whole thing. And I don't know, but that would be interesting. That would be a good twist. You might be right. I think Mando needs to grow his group before getting close to Grogu. Oh, I mean, that's a good call too, but he is. Come on, he's got the sharpshooter. He's got
2 sharpshooters.
He's got the sharpshooter. He's got the marshal now, who said, "What's our next move?" So she's with him. Got Boba Fett, who's kind of freaking awesome, and you're about to get Bo and her group likely. Good
if my
stuff.
theory is correct, which it does look like it is.
I think it is. I think it's right on the money. Resort budgeting in the house. What's going on? How are you? Anthony says, opinions. My team. What? Opinions. My team to rescue Baby Yoda, Boba, and his team Griff, Cargo, Bo, and Night Owls. That's a lot of words in there. Yeah, I think that's what we're saying though. Good morning, everybody. Saying hi to Resort budgeting. We're almost out of time. Let's keep going. I want to give you time to give your theory, although I think you did already. Mayfield feels the terminal he needs. Mayfield finds, the terminal he needs in the officer's mess. We talked about that. I don't need to read all that. After Mando passed up a perfect opportunity to unmask himself earlier in the episode, it would have been a letdown if he hadn't done the deed this week. That's why I told you when you asked me what I thought was going to happen, was I thought we'd see Mayfield and, okay, you got to look at the screen, beautiful. And I thought we would see his face. As Mayfield says, everybody's got their lines they don't cross until things get messy. Mando, who understandably looks like he's forgotten how to use his face, does put a bucket back on his head when his business at the base is done, but by then Mayfield has seen everything. I did find it interesting that he was standing at the thing, hoping that it would work without his mask. I mean, he doesn't seem like a dunce, and that was kind of a duncy thing to do.
Well, he hasn't taken his helmet off since he was a child, so forgive him for not wanting to.
Well, too bad. Want is irrelevant.
True. But ultimately he did, which proves his desire to save Grogu is stronger than his desire to hold up to the creed.
With Boba being a clone, he has the thinking of being loyal to Mando. Pull your chair up. Great stream. I have to work. Love you guys. Gonzo, I'm sorry you have to go to work. You have a great day, buddy. Glad you were here. I hate that after next Thursday, we will have to wait until next Christmas for the next series. We were talking about that a little bit as we watched it. I watched it for the second time this morning. It was like your 4th time watching it, and me and Mom were talking. I guess this was last night. I can't believe that we're 9 months away from an episode after next week. Kind of makes me sad, and I have hiccups all of a sudden. All right, I think we've gotten to the stuff. Yeah, I don't want to read any of that. I think we're all good. Mayfield isn't drinking the Kool-Aid or the free round of drinks. He proposes a toast to the Operation Cinder and goads Hess by bringing up the atrocity of the officer overseen at Burnin Cone, in which an entire city was sacrificed. Basically, we see Bill Burr's character. Myers and the Mouse in the house. What's going on, Mom? I'm glad you're here. Basically, we see Bill Burr trying to save Mando from having to talk because he sees he can't hang. Bill Burr's character, like Bill Burr himself, is quick-witted. He's going to handle the conversation. I'll do the talking, you do the shooting kind of thing. And then he goes where he goes. And the bad guy says what he says, and Bill Burr's pissed off. And he doesn't seem the type to follow rules either. Bingo, bango, boongo. Greedo shot through, just like the bad, like a Han Solo taking out Greedo, and all of a sudden we're racing around on the corner of the wall.
But before that, he took everyone else out in the room and saw Amanda's face. He said, do what I had to do. Nobody saw your face.
Very, very Western bar shoot 'em up scene. Then we're on the side of a building, hoping we're not going to fall into the water or the dam. Cara Dune and her buddy are taking out people. That was a great scene.
Yeah, that scene really made me tense.
And then they're leaving. They get away. He blows up the whatever, right, domium or whatever the heck it is. And then, all right, take me, boss. Take me back to prison. No, we're going to let you go.
Well, technically, she said she'll report it and that he died, so.
That's what I just said. So we got 10 minutes left. What was your favorite part of the scene, of the show today?
I would say how my suspicion to Big when he took off his helmet in this episode that revealed my suspicions were correct, that Bo-Katan did get to him when she told him what he said about the way he was raised. I knew there was no way he didn't think about it, because you can't just find out you're raised by some wacky cult and not consider something.
I mean, that's what happened to me, Mom, looking at you. Hitchhiking Boat says Mayfeld scored points when he handed Mando's helmet back to him and said basically, yeah, exactly. He's looking at him and he even looked away. Exactly. You know, Mayfeld has wanted to be, Mayfeld's got a man crush, let's be real. Mayfeld is a stud, but he sees another level of studness in Mando. And he even says we're the same. And I would agree with that. Blue Nose hates Marvel. I didn't know. Blue Nose says that Gonzo hates Marvel. I did not know that. I think he already left, but I did not know
That's
that.
strange.
Anthony, boy, so much news, by the way. I'm not going to get onto it because we're going to run out of time in the show. I don't know when. Tonight I'm on, let's just jump to this right now before I run out of time, and then I'll catch up in chat. Tonight I'm on Disney Dan Show, where we're talking about Disney Investor Day. This is my jam. Disney Investor Day was my thing. I loved it so much. I'll get to Anthony's point here in a minute. And we're going to talk about it on Disney Dan's show, Disney Fiasco, tonight. In between then and now, we got family coming over. We're going to take some Christmas photos with the babies. Our granddaughters turned 6 months old this week. Isn't that amazing? So we're taking Christmas 6 months old pictures here. Really excited about that. And then I'll be jumping into the show. So I don't really have a chance to talk to you guys about Investor Day. I will do a video, and I've got a couple other videos I got to do too. There you go. So I guess they never filed their TPS reports. Hey, Disney Blog, exactly right. Anthony says, Tina, who is the Jedi you expect them to meet Independent Temple on Titan? Anthony's got a question about, so we've talked about that. Which Jedi do you think we're going to see? And will we see him or her next episode?
Honestly, Dad, I don't think we are going to find one.
Yes, no.
I don't think there's going to be one because the Jedis are all practically gone. Ahsoka couldn't train him.
I thought you thought we were going to meet Grand Admiral Thrawn. Is that the right name? I mean,
yes, and he's not a Jedi. He's a very bad, very dangerous villain.
He was not ever a Jedi?
He's not a Jedi at all. He's an
Imperial. I know he's not a Jedi, but okay. See, I'm confused. This is where I don't know the story very well. Tina, I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. But I've heard rumors that it's Mace Windu, but
he's dead.
Okay. Well, we think that about a lot of people. We think that
True, the Star Wars universe does have a crazy way of bringing the dead back.
We think the redheaded guy, Darth Maul is dead, but he ain't. So things happen.
True.
Best part, Mayfield with the sticky uniform. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was funny. Oh, the socks are wet. Blech.
Karen Fennick on the ridge as sharpshooters was so great. It was. I love them. Myers and Mouse saying good morning. Hello to you. So, okay, so let's get to it. I think what happens next week is, I want your prediction. You've already shared a little bit of it, but if you got any more to share, now's the time. I think we're going to have the meetup. I think the end is going to bring the three teams. The Moff Gideon bad guy, Bo-Katan, Mando. We're going to have a whole bunch of Mandalorians there, and it's going to set up the next season. And I think that we're going to see some kind of great cliffhanger. Gonzo's not here anymore, but a Boba Fett switch could be good. But I don't think that's going to happen, actually, but it could be good. I think that we're not going to have them together yet. I think they're going to be separated still. And I think that, I think we could lose Kara, although I don't think she's going to die because she's going to have a new show. I think that something big will happen. It'll be a separation. But they've already separated Grogu and Mando. What do you think we're going to see next week?
I agree with you that it is going to be some kind of crazy cliffhanger, but it could be anything. Like, it could be the team, Bo-Katan's half the team about to be ejected out of an airlock or something. Because the Star Wars universe does do that a lot.
Reserve Budgeting says, oh, wow, Disney at 175. I know it's not Mandalorian, but it's awesome. So, again, tonight on Disney Fiasco on Disney Dan's channel, I will be one of his guests. I don't know if he has any others. He had a different topic, but he was excited about my excitement about – he was excited about it, and then he saw that I was also excited about Disney Investor Day, so we're going to change it. So we're going to have that talk tonight, and I have a lot to say. So you need to go over to his channel and check that out. I think it's 7 o'clock my time. Hitchhiking Boat says, I have a huge crush on Gina. I love Gina Carano. Love her. Ashley George Lucas said in an interview recently that Mason never died. Who's Mason? I think the meetup as well. There you go. I love Mando's so the holographic of Mando saying, I got 2 letters with for you. One is F and the other one is inappropriate with my daughter sitting right there. I loved that so much. Hey, remember what you said? I'm coming for you. It's Clint freaking Eastwood.
He used the exact words Moff Gideon used when he said, hand over to child meat. You have something I want.
And I'm coming. And you should just hand him over and put your tail in between your legs and run.
Exactly, because he has a lot of Mandalorians chasing him. And when they team up, he is going to be in big trouble.
Keith, my buddy, says, I predict I'll tune into your next show to find out what happens in the next episode because I don't have Disney Plus yet. Love it, buddy. Anthony says, actually, I watched an interview recently with George Lucas. He said that Mace Windu died after the Battle of Palpatine. George Lucas sold it to Disney. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, good stuff. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for next week's show. I'm excited for the next week's show with you. I love this stuff. Again, Disney Fiasco on Disney Dan's channel tonight. Please check out my 25 Days of Disney Creators. I'm going to do a couple of those today. That did give me chills too, Blue Nose. Yesterday's version, I did a little, I've been thinking about doing a bloopers because I have a couple little every time. But yesterday's episode that I was going to put up, when I was reviewing it, I had like 6 of them. So I put them together. I left them together, actually, and threw that together. I thought that would be fun. So I did a bloopers episode. But my 25 Days of Disney Creators rolls on. I hope you're enjoying that. If you're not, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please check that out. And then Sunday nights, it's going to be a good one. So we do a show called Creator Talk Live on Sunday nights, where I talk about this thing that's growing a following on YouTube and learn how to YouTube and all that. And I paid for one of those be in a contest and grow your Instagram things for 2 reasons. And so I'm going to tell you what those 2 reasons were, and I'm going to show you the results and tell you if it's worth it and tell you if it's okay. And we're going to have that discussion. So if you're interested in growing your Instagram and you're interested in that, doing a little research for me and everybody, so that might be fun. Charles Bronson, cool. Google it, folks. Exactly. I love Charles Bronson. I loved Charles Bronson. My dad loved Charles Bronson. Mar says, yes, Reagan, it's going to be an exciting cliffhanger. It has to occur on Moff Gideon's vessel. I agree, Mar. I agree. She also says maybe Mando will be reunited with Grogu, but something will be wrong with the escape. So you don't think Disney will follow canon? I think Disney is deciding what canon is. I think Disney has already changed what Mr. Lucas has wanted a lot. Dave Filoni being there means that it will stay with George Lucas's vision because they're like the same brain. But yeah, no, I think Disney has already broken what George wanted multiple times. What do you want to end with? Anything you want to tell the peeps?
Nope. We covered pretty much everything.
I guess we have spoken. Yeah, loving the Disney stocks. If you haven't bought Disney stocks yet, I told, we got like a minute. That's okay. I told people my opinion was 185. 185 by the end of 2021. So the Investor Day was, what are you doing?
Smiling.
Investor Day was yesterday. A year ago's Investor Day, they gave guidance that in 2024 they thought they'd get to between 60 and 80 million Disney Plus subscribers. They already did that. They upgraded the 2024 guidance to 240 million monthly paid subscribers. At that rate, they're talking about 3 times Disney Plus revenue. 240 million people sending you $10 a month is a pretty good business. So yeah, we hit 175 yesterday. I've been projecting 185. Others just this week went to 185 in their projections on Disney stock. My point, guys, it's a $500 stock in 3 years. Write it down. Send me your email if you want some free stock, Webull or Robinhood or both. I'll give you my referral links. You get free stock, I get free stock. Got a couple $100 worth of free stock, over $100 of Levi stock. But we'll talk to you about Disney Investor Day tonight on Disney Dan's channel. Tomorrow night we're doing Creator Talk, where we're going to talk about the Instagram contest as a growth method on Instagram. And then 25 Days of Disney Creators. I love you. You did great today. Mwah. If you had fun, please check out her channel. It's in, when you go to my page on the channels, it's the first one that shows up, I think. She's got a channel. We're going to start putting some of the content between the end of Mando this year and next year. We're hoping to have this show on her show next year so she can grow too. So check out that channel. Let me say, check out chat real fast before we go. Maybe Mando will reunite. I read that. I have to run for now. Myers and Much, have a great day. I can't wait for the new Marvel shows. Blue Nose, be there. Come to Disney Dan's show, Disney Fiasco today. I guarantee we'll be talking about it. I don't know how we're going to have it done in 1 hour. There's so much to talk about. Honestly, I've got 5 to 10 hours worth of stuff I want to talk about. And we'll probably do it next week on Good Morning Disney. 6 days a week next week. I don't have any classes. Should be fun. Love you all. Have a great weekend. We have spoken.
Daddy, real
Yes,
fast.
please.
We are going to review season 1 after season 2 it ends airing, right?
We got lots of stuff to do. Absolutely, we are.
Great.
We're gonna do anything you want. Really, it's your show. All right. I remember years ago, Disney stock was $50. I thought then it was a good amount, but didn't know how to get in. Now I do. Yeah, it's all about having access, right? The world's changed. Now we can do it. And it's free. I bought a bunch under 90. I mean, I say a bunch. I only have like 25. But anyway, love you all. Have an amazing day, like Michael and Bella says. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, share it out. See you tonight on Disney Dan Show. Tomorrow night for Creator Talk Live. And then watch for my 25 Days of Disney Creators. Should be one episode coming up in the next couple hours. Love you all. Have the best day ever.
We have spoken and have a distastic day.
Amen to that. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
You were great.